Yeah, yeah. I called up there and the young man that answered the phone, he said, I don't know why they got reset now. I reset it.
I can't get this thing to stop.
I was gonna say, what, who's? I looked up to see.
Thought I had lost it.
Did y'all get an email from Evelyn Williams
I got it.
about getting the millions of dollars?
Who?
No.
Did you get that?
I didn't think I was gonna get to come to the meeting tonight because I would have a warrant out for me from the, what they say, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
I didn't
Turn off
I
narrative.
got the guy on the phone and I said, you
There we
know,
go.
I need a change, so just send them on and pick me up.
You got it? Is that the new one?
Yeah.
It's got the agenda, the executive session at the bottom.
Let's see, I don't have it either. Which one?
What are we supposed to have? Am I missing
No,
something too?
that's not
The,
good.
from Ken? No, we don't have it.
What?
It went
out
Friday afternoon.
You don't have the agenda?
I have it.
I've got,
I've got one.
Somebody's volume.
It went out on 11/3.
This thing is echoing tonight, isn't it?
Okay. No, Eric's volume needs to be down, muted.
I might have to come off
oh,
of
it's
this.
on, you sent it on Tuesday.
Oh, you are live.
There's that one.
Do you have your sound up?
I've got one from Tuesday.
Do you have this sound up?
I think
That's
that's,
from Tuesday, let me see.
pretty sure I, we can do this.
Well, it doesn't.
Well, Eric, did you think it was somebody
Got
else?
it on Friday.
Well, yeah.
I don't have an email from you from Friday. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Well, the agenda's the same except for
Yeah,
executive
yeah,
session, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, I'll
It
just
looks
go
like
back.
nobody's on anyway, Ken.
Go back down to the third.
Not yet.
But both platforms are live, so whenever you want to start.
Good evening. We'd like to welcome you to our council meeting this evening. And we would ask you, if you have cell phones, to please turn them off at this time. We will stand and have pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Joyce and prayer by Councilmember Reed.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would like to pray, would you please remain standing? Dear God, we thank you for this day. We ask that you grant the mayor and city council to have ears to listen to the people that we serve and the wisdom to act for justice. Bless our agenda to be fruitful for the common good of the city of Madison. Amen.
Amen. All our council members are present tonight. Approval of minutes of previous meetings. Our call meeting of August the 9th, 2020. Our work session and call meeting of September the 4th, 2020. Call meeting of October 7th, 2020, and regular meeting of October the 12th, 2020. And if there's nothing to add or delete from these minutes, I'd like to get a motion to approve these minutes.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Are there any more discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Opposed, if none, vote unanimously. Are there anything that need to be added to our agenda for tonight? I don't, we are going into executive session, but we could just do that at the end of our meeting, I believe.
Yes, sir, I wanted to make a note that on the agenda, it was published as executive session for personnel and legal matters, and that was an error. It's discussion of personnel and real estate.
Right.
Just want to
So
make that.
We'll make that motion at the end of our meeting, go into executive session. Identify items that they come up for comments tonight, and on the consent agenda from our work session, we had natural gas appliance rebates and contractor incentives, and also natural gas on bill financing programs. We discussed that at length with our city manager, and I think at the end of our work session, all the council members was in approval of that, and we come tonight to make that official. If we can get a motion and a second to approve these two items on our consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
There any more discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Opposed, none, the vote unanimously. There's no zoning hearing tonight, no legal matters, no unfinished business, new business, police department pay scale change. We talked about that at length at our last work session. And I believe all our council members were in favor of that. Our city manager, none will come, and our council members have any thing to add, object, approve, then we will listen to you after our city manager.
Mr. Mayor, I don't believe I'm really ready to look at this item tonight. I would like to ask for a tabling of this till our next meeting, and I will so move if.
You want to table it until the next meeting, Eric?
Yeah, the discussion of the police department pay scale change. I think there's things that I don't quite really think we can talk about tonight. I'm not ready to move on it, so I would ask that we postpone it a month.
I second that motion.
Can I just ask this before we approve that motion, during our discussion? I do know that we made a verbal decision in our work session, and that may be some reason why we don't want to approve this now, but can we talk about this in executive session and come back out of executive session and make an amendment and talk about it after executive session tonight?
That could possibly work. Until we see what we're talking about, I'm not sure, but it's very possible that might work, Mr. Mayor.
Are there any other comments from my council members?
I'm perfectly fine with doing that, if that's okay with Ms. Reed.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I said I'm fine with going into executive session and talking about these raises, if we can do that. And we can come out and vote tonight. I'm fine with doing that.
Okay. Any other comments from that other council member?
Would you care to table it till, or just
We
move
would
it to the
just
end of the
table
agenda?
Till the end of, we'll talk about it when we come out of our executive session tonight. Okay.
All in
Are
favor?
there any more discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Opposes, none to vote unanimously. Okay. David, while you're still there, Lee Meg, street paving, attachment 4.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The LMIG paving streets are due to be submitted before the end of the calendar year, and you see the ones that we have prioritized for resurfacing. There may be some milling involved in these streets with curbs per, it's kind of exactly what we did last year. It just makes the street tie in to the existing curbs better. Doesn't run the cost up all that much. And you'll see Skyline Drive, East and West Skyline, which are the little connector streets off of Crawford. High Street, they was on last year, and it's a short little section of street, but we got some more milling to do in there to address some water issues. Airport Industrial, it's not a very busy street, but it's an industrial road that serves Penpack and JDR, and it's be in pretty bad shape, and we need to get it addressed. Billups Street, which is over in that area, North 5th Street, also in that area. Hugh Circle and Turner Drive and Gilmore Lane associated with Hugh Circle, again, connector streets from Bernie over to Hugh Circle. And we've got a little bit of flexibility if we need to add something later on, perhaps if something pops up. But this seems to be what's in the most need now. It's about 1 mile and 8/10. We should be able to do it for what's in the budget. Our LMIG money is about $65,000, and then we have SPLOST and T-SPLOST to work with. So we're in good shape money-wise. I'll answer any questions.
Does the, so pretty much what we see here is going to, it's going to use up all the LMIG budgeted money for 2021?
Well, LMIG gets washed out first because it's state money. But you have T-SPLOST and regular SPLOST funds that are budgeted for resurfacing or other transportation. Parking lots, if we got a parking lot to build, and we do have one associated with the Gateway project on West Washington, West Washington Street. And perhaps a small parking lot over associated with Lambert Park. Those are the kind of the ones in the queue right now. But you have some flexibility offline from LMIG.
And just for the sake of public information, David, the main factor that goes into the creation of this list is need, it's the amount of deterioration of the road surface.
Condition of the street. The county has done a countywide assessment, and they went ahead and assessed our streets as well, and I've not yet gotten that data. So next year, because we were already into this, but I've talked to the county manager, and again, they went and had consultants, engineers that went and they graded all of their streets. This was done in the city probably 25 years ago, and we've just been paving, and we just kind of have done, next up, what's the next worst streets. So, and I keep a map, and I kind of see geographically where the paving's been done, and streets with a lot of traffic. And we're doing some good. We're able to double what we've done in the past with our T-SPLOST and SPLOST, and we may be able to up it some more. So
I was at a county commission meeting where they referenced the free information they're compiling for our benefit. It's
Well,
kind of sideways.
yeah, we need to thank them very much for that.
Yeah,
I'm willing,
exactly.
told them I was willing to pay our prorated share, so don't let them be all that magnanimous too quick. I'm willing to write a check if I need to.
David, is it time that we can ask Karen about the sales tax numbers? Is this appropriate now as part of this, the managers?
Were you finished, David?
I'm done. I need a.
We need a motion
I need a
to
motion to approve and
2021
authorize the mayor to sign any documents that DOT requires. I got them ready. I want to get them off the desk and send them in.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the LMIG project report and authorize you to sign the necessary papers.
Second.
Are there any more discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Opposed is none, do vote unanimously. Okay, Chris, you wanted to?
Well, we got our sales tax numbers this morning, and
Oh, yeah.
it looks like we were up 76% over last year in September. Is that right?
I think Karen
Well,
can.
that was that weird, that was that one-time payoff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a one-time audit that the state of Georgia did, and I have sent an email out, and I'll resend it tomorrow morning that explains why that was such a large number. It was a one-time event, but as you can see, this month's is
In line from
very,
last year.
very comparable to
Yeah.
last year at this time.
Yeah.
0.78% over last year, and overall, and of course this number is a little inflated because of last month's huge amount, is an increase of 17%.
Gotcha.
It
Okay.
is kind of amazing that for October, we're actually above last year, even a
Yes.
small amount. Is that partially due, is the truck stop online yet? No?
Yeah, it's online, but we can't know that.
We don't know
because
where
we
it
don't-
comes from.
Department of Revenue does not share base information with us on who pays and how they pay, and I've talked to GMA a little bit about this, and I know GMA's lobbied. If they and I know it's proprietary, and I know they have to be very careful about sales tax data, but the mistake, our windfall, or our kind of savings plan that was not on purpose, Karen, remind me, how many months was the error? 14 months or a year, or?
No, it was, I think over about a 3-year period.
3 years. So it was one business, and they won't identify who the business was, but obviously it was a business that was in a lot of counties and a lot of cities, because it was 400 million statewide.
Yeah, it was huge.
I can't remember that number. I'm
And it is
trying to find the
mildly
email.
reassuring that they chose to repay the cities.
Oh, well, they had no choice, because
Well-
it's the city's money and the county's money. But you can imagine how much is all relative as far as, and what my comment to the executive director was, yet another example of, had we been able to look at the data and see who's paying and what they're paying, we could have seen a glaring error.
Yeah.
We could have said, well, where is X or where is
Right.
Y? And why are they not remitting money? They won't let us help them, and maybe there's a good idea why they won't share that.
I pulled it up, I'm sorry, David. It's a large parent company that has businesses located throughout the state. It was audited over 2015 to 2018.
Okay, so 3 years.
And they were remitting all of their sales tax as state tax and not
It was a-
separating the local out.
It was a coding error.
Yeah. Gosh.
It was
And-
2.47 million, or 247 million, excuse me.
Okay, 247.
But that mistake just as easily next time could be against our interest, and all of a sudden, we owe 42 grand or whatever it was.
Mr. Mayor, Eric mentioned something about, was it the new truck stop, or is that, I have made it a habit of just driving around and looking at the truck stops, and one of the things we thought was we might lose traffic off of 114, and people would go to 113, and we wouldn't get an increase in tax. But if you go by all those truck stops, they're all full. Okay, so what I think we probably can make a conclusion that there has been an impact on sales tax from the new Love Station. I can't see their numbers, but when they're full and all the rest of them are full, and our tax, sales tax up 17%? Was it after the adjustment?
Same month, year over year, I think it's at least equal to what it was. So I think we probably are going to see some things going forward, but it's hard to analyze, because retail may be, there may be some off and others.
And they don't
maybe
delineate
better.
with what we collect from internet sales, do they?
We do internet sales are better now, but I don't know.
Does it delineate, does it say
No.
that this is from?
And Ed, I might add also that Bert Jones's company out of Jackson has applied to Newton County to do a truck stop on Highway 11 and I-20. Big project there. I don't know if they've gotten approval or not, but I would imagine that would be some
You
competition
need to
for
speak out against that one. We don't need for them to siphon off any business. How dare Bert.
Was that it for you, Chris?
That's it.
Are there any comments from anyone else? Before we move on, I'm sure Ms. Robinson is not ready, but just briefly, if you would just like to tell us what happened, how successful things were this past Saturday. Ms. Robinson, let's get your feet wet.
Thank you, Mayor. I was actually not physically present myself, but hearing the report from our transitioning Main Street Director, Ann Huff, she did advise that we had a great deal of traffic in downtown this past Saturday. There were a great deal of visitors from the Marietta area, North of Athens, as well as Milledgeville. So we're excited that our messages are getting out via the internet and our website, and that traffic and visitors from other areas of our region are coming to visit the city. You all each have a rack card at your place settings to advise you about Shop, Sip, and Stroll. That will be over the next 3 Saturdays, the 14th, 21st, and the 28th of November. We're hopeful that that traffic or that level of visitors to the city will continue to our downtown.
over the next 3 Saturdays, and that weather does not prohibit that from happening this coming weekend. We will be doing a big push for Shop Small Saturday on November 28th. So that will be just pushing people to shop small businesses. We do have a special that will come out in our local legal organ on this week, so be on the lookout for that, about Shop Small Saturday. Spend 28 and be eligible for a gift certificate, drawing for a gift certificate on the 28th. So thank you, Mayor, and I'll entertain any questions with your permission.
Thank you for that brief report, and we certainly appreciate what you and our former director is doing as well. Thank you so much. Are there any more comments from any of our council members? Do we want to take comments from the public, now before we go into our executive session?
Is anybody watching? One person?
One person.
Just me.
It's you?
Well, looks like it. Me and Ken and,
No, that's live stream there.
And me.
One on live stream. Which actually might
you know, Karen, I was down there Saturday, and I somehow expected, since we're doing 4 Saturdays instead of 1, I expected maybe a quarter of what we had on the
Yeah.
very successful one last year. It was way more, it was like the one we had last year
It
for one
is.
day. So it was real optimistic. And you had a lot of people come in your realty?
Yeah, I offered alcohol. I had like a bar set up
I saw
for
that.
11 to 2.
I
I
saw
think that probably helped a good bit.
Champagne.
It was not easy for me
Did you
to be
have,
around.
did you have that in the real estate office?
I did. I had mimosas.
That's a
and-
real estate violation. We'll have to talk about
Probably.
it.
We don't have a
Probably
cash
is.
register, so I don't have to. I didn't have that many people come in, so, but it was nice
So-
to have.
Okay,
I'm gonna go get
that's
some.
it?
That's it.
Okay, and we can get anyone need to take a quick break? Okay. Give you a chance to get back. And for those of you who probably want to stick around to see what decisions are made after our executive session, we will go back into regular session once we leave executive session to give you a few comments if you want to do that.
Has there been a motion to go into executive
Not
session?
I
yet.
just wait till Carrie, wait till Carrie come back.
Okay. Oh, she's there.
Where? Oh.
Carrie. Mr. Mayor, I move that we leave regular session and enter executive session.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, show of hands. Opposed is none. We'll leave regular session and go into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate acquisition. We'll give the public a moment to leave and
Are we off, Ted?
just yet.